Welcome back, Football Daily fans, for our look at 10 players who will be desperate to leave their clubs on loan this January. Let's get into it. 10. Donny van de Beek. Did you remember that Donny van de Beek still plays for Manchester United? At this point, you would be forgiven if you didn't. As for a third season in a row, the Dutch midfielder is a mere speck within their squad, only playing for 85 league minutes this term. Yet, it should have been so different. Reunited with Erik ten Hag, his former boss at Ajax, the 25-year-old looks set to shine after being frozen out by Solskjaer and Rangnick. But ten Hag has arrived at the same judgment as his predecessors, saying in early November that van de Beek must do better if he wants to feature in his plans. However, rather than face more humiliation at Old Trafford, we think the Dutch international should cut and run while he can. The same happened last year when he left for Everton on loan, although that move didn't produce much in the way of success, with van de Beek scoring just a single goal in 7 Premier League appearances for the Toffees. Perhaps a move abroad and away from the rigours of the English game is what he needs to get his career back on track. 9. Djed Spence. Ever since Kieran Trippier left in 2019, Tottenham have made a meal of finding a suitable right-back replacement. The England international may have struggled in his last campaign with the Lily-Whites, but his successors have all failed to impress, with Serge Aurier, Matt Doherty and now Emerson Royal all coming in for criticism. But Djed Spence has endured an even worse time with the club, yet to start a game in any competition since signing for up to £20 million in the summer. Why Fabio Paratici sanctioned his arrival has left many scratching their heads. Antonio Conte has even admitted it wasn't his decision, describing the 22-year-old as a long-term investment, but it doesn't look like Spurs will be getting any value for money out of Spence anytime soon. With Emerson and Doherty firmly ahead of him, the former Forest star needs a move. Last season in the Championship, he put up 2.8 dribbles and key passes per game while maintaining over 3 tackles and interceptions, which all serves as a great reminder of his abilities. In the short term, he just needs a club where he can show what he can really do. 8. Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Another right back looking to pastures new this January is Manchester United defender Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Erik ten Hag has shown little interest in the former Crystal Palace star, handing him just 4 minutes of action in the Premier League. In his place, Diogo Dalot has thrived, starting 13 matches to finally nail down the right back slot at Old Trafford, over 4 years on since signing from FC Porto. But Wan-Bissaka's troubles in United's shirt are nothing new. After being a regular feature in the starting lineup across his first 2 seasons with the club, last term saw his appearances slashed to 20 in the league. His tackles and interceptions per game fell to their lowest point yet in his career, while he failed to register a single goal or assist. It looks like Ten Hag has made his mind up pretty quickly on the 25-year-old. He needs to escape from the Red Devils, and luckily it looks like there are clubs who are keen to get their hands on him. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that West Ham, Wolves and Crystal Palace all want the Croydon-born defender, provided a replacement can be found. 7. Ryan Gravenberch. Perhaps predictably, Ryan Gravenberch has struggled for game time since signing for Bayern Munich from Ajax in the summer, with the midfielder even missing out on a place in the Netherlands World Cup squad as a result. And following reports back in October that the Dutch youngster was unhappy with his situation at the German champions, sporting director Hassan Salihamidzic even came out publicly to suggest the 20-year-old wasn't for sale. But having seen Mark Rocker eventually have to leave for a much smaller club after getting few opportunities in Bavaria, it's understandable if Gravenberch is getting itchy feet. Unlike Rocker though, who is an excellent deep line distributor but has other limitations to his game, Gravenberch was one of the most sought after midfield talents in Europe before his move to Germany. With other players of his ilk like Pedri, Bellingham and Camavinga all excelling at top clubs, the former Ajax man is having to wait patiently. In truth, it's hard to see an obvious escape. 6. Rick Karsdorp. Jose Mourinho is notorious for falling out with his players, and his latest victim is Rick Karsdorp, who Jose turned on in the wake of Roma's draw against Sassuolo in November. The Portuguese manager openly accused the Dutchman of betraying his side with his bad attitude, and stated he should look for a new club, which was followed by Karsdorp refusing to train. It was quite the turn of events for the 27-year-old, considering he played 96 times for the Giallorossi over the past 2 seasons, often as a starter. But with the right back not featuring once since that ill-fated clash with Sassuolo, his time in the Eternal City looks done. The question is simply whether he will leave the Stadio Olimpico permanently or on loan. The likes of Fulham, Lille, Torino, Ajax and Juventus are all said to be interested in his services, the latter wanting to swap him with Mattia De Sciglio, so Karsdorp should have plenty of options, and Mourinho will be adamant he accepts one as soon as possible. 5. DENIZ UNDAV. Originally signed by Brighton in January 2022 following an excellent spell at Union Saint-Gilloise, DENIZ UNDAV looked like a good solution to the Premier League club's long-standing centre-forward issue, having scored 45 times in 68 appearances for the Moneyball-driven disruptors of the Belgian Pro League. Loaned back to USG instantly, UNDAV became a Brighton player proper in the summer, and the club's decision not to sign another number 9 suggested the German striker would be front and centre in 2022-23. But that hasn't happened, with the 26-year-old playing just 94 minutes in the Premier League to date, getting his only meaningful action in the Carabao Cup against League One Forest Green Rovers. Failing to gain the trust of Graham Potter or Roberto De Zerbi, UNDAV is already being linked with a loan move away, with recent reports suggesting Championship clubs such as Sunderland, QPR and Burnley could move in. Speaking to The Athletic in November, UNDAV said he was determined to fight for his place in the Seagulls lineup, but the offer of instant first-team football could prove too hard to turn down. 4. Loic Bardet. It was inevitable that some of the 22 summer additions at Nottingham Forest were going to disappoint, and there have certainly been some misses, with Emmanuel Dennis and Taiwo Awoniyi starting only 9 games between them, while Jesse Lingard has failed to produce a single goal involvement. But of all the Reds' new additions, Loic Bardet is probably the one feeling most deflated. Signed on a year-long loan from Rennes with an option to buy, Bardet was the 21st recruit to arrive at the City ground. But to date, the 22-year-old hasn't made a single appearance in any competition, with Steve Cooper preferring the experienced Steve Cook or Scott McKenna at centre-half. It continues a difficult spell for the young defender, who was allowed to leave Rennes just 1 year on from signing from Lens. Considering he cost 17 million euros, that's a particularly poor investment. Luckily for Bardet, another loan move looks on the horizon. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed the Frenchman is close to joining Sevilla with a 12 million euro option to buy, so his Forest nightmare should soon be over. 3. Hakim Ziyech. It seems like an age ago that Hakim Ziyech was lighting up Europe as part of that incredible Ajax side under Erik ten Hag, which famously made the Champions League semi-finals in 2018-19. However, since he joined Chelsea, he has seemingly fallen by the wayside. Whilst he has played a largely regular role for the Blues since signing for them in 2020, he has seen his minutes reduced under new boss Graham Potter, having only started 2 games for the club so far this term. The Moroccan did remind the footballing world just how good he can really be during the World Cup, playing an integral role as Morocco made the semi-finals, ranking first for his side in the way of key passes per game whilst coming second for dribbles completed. The result is Ziyech has been linked with a host of clubs throughout Europe, with AC Milan being one of the front runners interested in his services. Let's just hope that wherever he ends up, he can continue that good World Cup form. 2. Philippe Coutinho. The flagship signing of Steven Gerrard's ill-fated spell in charge of Aston Villa, Philippe Coutinho's future at Villa Park now looks incredibly uncertain. According to Goal.com, the Brazilian playmaker is keen to lead the Premier League club just months after signing a 4-year contract, having failed to hold down a regular starting spot even when Gerrard was still in the dugout. Brazilian giants Corinthians, who enjoy a close relationship with Coutinho's agent, are said to be interested, offering the 30-year-old a chance of playing back in his home country for the first time since he was a teenager. But as with his struggles to leave Barcelona, wages are an issue, with his Villa salary reportedly unaffordable for the Sao Paulo outfit. An initial loan move then may suit all parties, even if new coach Unai Emery may be keen to keep a player with so much Premier League and European experience in his squad. 1. Charles de Ketelaere. Followers of AC Milan might be concerned at the sight of Charles de Ketelaere being linked with a move away from San Siro already. Then again, it's hardly been a dream start for the attacking midfielder in Serie A, only mustering up a single assist in 578 minutes of action. Considering Milan handed Club Brugge 32 million euros for de Ketelaere, this is a poor return. Leeds had competed for him in the summer too, but according to Team Talk, they are ready to try again for the Belgian, this time borrowing him until the summer. Whether or not Milan actually sanction a departure remains unsure. For all de Ketelaere's issues, an expected goal and assist rate of 3.4 suggests he has been unlucky in the final third, and he's still putting up nearly 4 shots and key passes per 90. 6 months is also a short amount of time for a 21-year-old to adapt to a new team, league and country. That said, the games will come thick and fast in January. If towards the end of the month de Ketelaere still hasn't improved, then why not send him on loan to breathe confidence back into his game? So that was our look at 10 players who are desperate for a loan move away from their club, but what do you make of our list and who have we missed out? Let us know in the comments down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.